Wonder Man is a pleasant surprise. This show is so different from anything we have ever seen from MCU that even calling it a superhero show feels wrong, cause it really isn't. Rather, it's a show about an actor struggling and chasing after his dream role. It just happens to be that he has powers. And even without any fight scenes, this is one of the most engaging shows Marvel has ever done. So let's talk about what works and what doesn't, so you can ultimately decide whether to watch it or not. Simon Williams. Simon Williams is a very different take from the average MCU heroes. Every time you think of an MCU hero, two types comes to mind. The arrogant but charming guy, or trying to do the right thing kind of guy. Simon is none of those. He has no charming personality, overthinks every little details, keeps sabotaging his own life, doesn't know how to have a normal conversation, and doesn't really care about much except his own dreams. And that makes him a really interesting character instead of a typical hero. By showing his struggles and motivation, this show makes us care for him, but also makes it clear that he is not a superhero who is out to save the world. He is just an actor with superpowers, doing what he wants to do, and that puts him in a really interesting position, because most of the characters introduced in the MCU recently are not really the type that drives the narrative. The story happens and they react to it, but this show establishes Simon as a character whose actions will decide the narrative. Trevor Slattery. Despite a great character like Simon Williams, the highlight of this show was Trevor. This show has taken a comedic relief character and made him a show stealer. It won't be wrong to say that he was the heart of the show. The writing for him was so sincere that you can't help but love him. This show takes this character seriously without losing the comedic elements. His dialogue still has the subtle comedic elements, but he also gets to show that how much he loves acting and what it means to him. It doesn't show Trevor as a dumb comedic relief, instead as an experienced actor who gives some pretty nice life lessons as the show goes on. The friendship. This show is built upon the friendship of Trevor Slattery and Simon Williams, two actors with their own little secrets, chasing their dream. Each episode is just them going through a different stage of getting their dream role, and both their characters really balances each other out. The overthinking mind of Simon paired with the more calm, experienced mind of Trevor, just their conversation was engaging enough to watch the whole show. It's not for everyone. This show is way different than an average superhero show, maybe a bit too much for some people. There is no superhero stuff going on in this show. Even the classic suit-up scene is not shown in a battle, rather in a character moment that feels fulfilling and satisfying. No world-ending threat, no supervillain to defeat, and that might not work for everyone. Wonder Man is an experiment from Marvel that works surprisingly well, and even though this might not get the same hype as some of their other projects, this was needed for Marvel to show their audiences that they can still make great character-driven projects that doesn't feel like a formula.